Greetings and hello, welcome to Bloom from Within Love. I go by Bloomy, and today's brief segment is a discussion on the law of polarity. I had promised you guys on Instagram, probably Facebook and YouTube as well, that when I did the last segment on the law of relativity and the law of gender, that I was going to come back and talk about the law of polarity, because to me, those three are almost intermingled. But anyway, the law of polarity. So the law of polarity talks about how with everything there is an opposite pole or an opposite end to things. Very similar to the law of gender with yin and yang. It's the opposite. So up, down, in, out. Just a polarized opposite spectrum. Okay, and I'm gonna try to briefly talk about why it's important. I was doing some research briefly here on my lunch break, and something that's intriguing to me, something that I'm looking into, trying to learn how to utilize in a more effective way in my life, so that I am manifesting more of what I want versus more of what I don't. And to me, nothing else plays a part more than the law of polarity in this. And so, with that being said, everything is dualistic. We even have polarized aspects to ourselves, masculine and feminine energy. And depending on what's in your astrological makeup, you may have a little bit more things going on there, because if you have a lot of air energy in your chart, or if you have a lot of Gemini in specific, which are the twins of the zodiac, then you probably have a lot of variance in terms of your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, and desires. But the law of polarity also, like everything else, is kind of governed by subconscious. So, in other words, when we're setting our intentions to manifest, right? Learning how to set these intentions, even utilizing the law of attraction, if our emotional vibratory state is not quite there, even as we're setting these intentions, this is where polarity is coming in, because we are still governed by that, and there's still a vibration of a deep seated and rooted belief system. Okay. And for an example that I saw on this website, and I forgot what it was because I wanted to reference the website, but they were saying, like, let's say you are setting all these clear intentions about financial abundance. Let's say you did research and you found out how to utilize law of attraction and setting intentions and so forth. But if emotionally that's not what you're feeling, and the feelings are coming from a deep rooted belief that's counter that, then your manifestation will be more likely than not either mixed, stagnant, or much of the same, because of its polarity, its dualistic energy that is being present. And so with that being said, it is with my intention, first and foremost, for myself, as service to self and service to the all and nothingness, to attempt to connect to that within myself, and kind of trace where there's any deep-rooted feelings and beliefs that's countering some of my desires in certain areas of my life, to kind of calibrate it, neutralize it, make the shift there with ease. And I know I'm talking fast, you guys, because I don't have a lot of time, so bear with me here. But with ease, because that's the ticket. That's another thing that I'm starting to learn. It's like that allowance, that neutrality, that, nowness. That's going to be the base, you guys, for everything that we do, dealing with the 12 laws of the universe. In my humble opinion, it's the base starting point. We need to be in the neutral zone. We need to be in the allowance, the acceptance zone, the now. And from there, we have a shot at addressing, trying to tap into within and utilize the different laws of the universe more effectively, right? And in a pace that's conducive to who we are and where we're at in the moment. As I mentioned on the other video, it's very it feels very challenging to try to jump from being an extreme pessimistic person to an extreme optimistic person. That's a major leap. Those are two ends of polarity. Now, here's the unique spin. They're all the same. Oh my gosh, it's not even disconnected. It's one of the same energy. You can't have one without the other. It's all linked. It's just on another end of an energy stream, if you will, but it's still a part of the same energy stream. Trippy, isn't it? So, in my humble opinion, it also speaks of integration of self, integration of acceptance, all these vast versions of you, or polarities, if you will, without a judgment to it, without trying to run from it, without trying to put a label on it, without trying to shut it down, without trying to make it better, without trying to whatever, you know what I mean? It's just being able to sit in it and go, okay, I want this, but I currently feel and believe this. I see this. Like sitting in that, knowing it's okay, facing that. And in my opinion, from there is where maybe we'll feel certain things dissipate. Because haven't you ever wondered, think about this, the thing you run from, the thing, whether it's metaphorically running, mentally running, emotionally running, or in some cases, literally running, the thing you run from is the thing that persists. Think about it. When you try to resist and push or deny, you may feel a little moment of escape, whether it be you're using distractions to kind of keep you from looking at something, or using food, sex, drugs, alcohol, self-help, meditation, like whatever it is, rather than to face it. Haven't you noticed it returns? Because there's a resistance of some sort. Something we're scared to look at, something we're scared to feel, something we don't want to feel, something we don't want to deal with for whatever reason, right? So set your intention to, as you are trying to utilize the law of polarity, so that your manifestation intentions are more in alignment with what you really want versus the opposite spectrum of what you want. Try starting at base 1, neutrality, integration, and facing the polarity of you. Let's forget about the external. Let's forget about what we're bringing in our life and we're saying like, what the hell, I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is, right? Let's forget about all externals, whether there are situations, circumstances, or people, and make the intention of, okay, I set my intention to surrender to the polarities of me, to surrender to my higher self regarding that, to come into whole alignment and integration, facing the polarities of me, being an allowance with the polarities of me, whether it is emotional, whatever it is, but just being willing, giving intention of being willing to sit in stillness, to sit in allowance, to sit in feeling and facing and acknowledging with the intention of releasing attachment, releasing storylines, judgments. Just be. If it means you have to cry, if it means you laugh, if it means you face a darker element of you, if it means you're in awe, if it means it brings up feelings of uncertainty or whatever comes up, just saying, you know what, this moment, it's okay. And I believe, and I'll follow up with you guys, I believe that as we practice more of this, maybe just on a day-to-day, in the more simplistic areas of our life, the more common areas, and make that conscious connection to how we're merging the polarity or acceptance, then we could start like perfecting it and building on it, and then using it more to our favor in a right way. And I hope what I'm saying is all making sense. I may have to do a part 2 on this one, just to bring you all some references and things like that. But it made a lot of sense as I've been reflecting on a few things, You say, okay, I look at this area, this is happening. And so why am I co-creating this? If you believe that you are a co-creator, if you have come to terms and comes to grips with the reality that the universe is simply a mirror reflection and giving you what you are, giving you what you're vibrating, giving you what you're thinking, giving you what you're feeling, giving you what you're believing, even if it's stuff that you just inherited and have not yet dealt with, okay? And you're kind of on a program, on autopilot, right? So if you accept that we are co-creators, then, you start to get very curious when you're starting to evaluate your manifesto power, right? Because you may see in one area like, man, I'm bomb diggity, man, I'm on fire. You may look and go, okay, it's happening, Captain, right? But then you may look at something else and be like, ooh, like, you're like, what's wrong with me? And you go right back into the other zone. But it's okay. And I'm hoping I'm providing some relief to you all with this, because we get so perfectionist mindset. This is a journey. It's trial and error. This stuff takes practice. There's no right or wrong. You have to go with what resonates and be kind to yourself. Be gentle. If you screwed up a manifestation, guess what? Join the rest of the human race. Okay? If you find that you're in a cycle that you didn't want to be in, that you thought that you were over with, that's okay too, because you created it for a reason. So it could be that there's just another aspect to something that you need to grab, which is just fine. And I know we don't always feel this way. I can totally relate to this. I get it, but if we own and take full responsibility, realizing that we are our creators. So if there's something in our nowness, in our externalized 3D experience that is not quite the way we want it to be, it is a reason. There is a reason we put it there, okay? It may not be for the reasons in which our lower mind thinks, but it's there, okay? And the moment we accept it, and this is a big one, it's hard, I ain't gonna lie, at least it feels that way. When we are used to trying to, from our lower energy or our lower personality, instead of from the higher realm, when we keep going back into the lower realm to try to remedy things, this is when we get a lot of our frustration, okay? And so with that being said, I hope that this was helpful. The law of polarity. It is the law of the universe that speaks of the dualistic nature to things. And that's everything in existence, including yourself. Every experience, every circumstance, every situation, every connection, there's a dualistic nature, there's a polarity, there's an opposite. But it's all interconnected. And so with that being said, let us set the intention to integrate and be okay with every aspect of who we are. Release judgments of self, release criticism of self, release trying to run from anything, run to anything, just to simply sit and be and allow yourself to feel, give yourself permission, even if it's not polished, if it's messy. And I'm saying this because a lot of us get on this journey, and once we start doing well, the tendency to want to be perfect and always be high vibe, or always have it figured out, or always, kind of gets in there. But I'm starting to embrace my vulnerability a little bit more, because that's a part of the human experience within myself. Give myself permission to be vulnerable with me. I'm not saying we should go around with people that we have not built some type of a trust bond rapport with. I'm saying giving ourselves to be vulnerable with us. So if you want to have a meltdown, if you want to feel something, instead of trying to just hurry up and make it go away, letting yourself feel it because it's a release. okay? And an integration in some cases, when you just look at something and realize that this is how you feel, this is what you think, and then set an intention to release programs and belief systems that may be stored deep within you, in your subconscious, in the Akashic records, that are co-creating scenarios in your life that keeps you in the loop of these experiences or manifestations in which you no longer truly desire from your higher realm perspective, okay? All right, I got to get going, you guys. I'm sending you all love and light. And just a side note, two numbers for you all to think about and look into that came to mind for me today is 111 and 333. Okay, look into those angel numbers. There are going to be some messages there for you. Sending you guys love and light. Namaste.